Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today, it's the man on the jar. We visit Uncle Jim and his world-famous pepper mustard. Today, we're coming to you from Ground Zero. This is where it all began, the birth of Uncle Jim's pepper mustard. Jim Scheer, thank you so much for having us out to your abode to see where it all began.
You're very welcome. Glad you could make it.
This is a phenomenal success. It went from a gift for friends to now an international sensation.
Yes, it is. Yes, it has.
And it began right here in Champion, Ohio. So tell me a little bit about your pepper mustard.
We began making pepper mustard probably 10 or 12 years ago. We were looking for an extra use for our Hungarian wax peppers that we were growing because we were making peppers and oil and we had lots of extra peppers. And we came across an old recipe from a friend for pepper mustard for this condiment dip thing. And so we started making it and we started changing the recipe a little bit to suit our needs for it. And we gave it away to our friends, and that's kind of how the whole thing started. And for more than a decade, they begged us to sell it, and so we held off for quite a long time. But we finally decided to go ahead and do it, and that's where we're at today.
So what was the impetus? What made you say, this is it, we cannot handle the orders anymore? Or was that it, like one late night you looked at your wife, Karen, and said, honey, we got to leave this to the professionals? Is that how that happened?
That's pretty accurate, actually. We were staying up till midnight over at our stove, both of us stirring pots of pepper mustard till very late. And we had such a calling for people wanting the mustard that we kind of looked at each other and said, okay, we need to find someone else to be able to do that. And so that's when we started to look towards a commercial production for it, so that we get out of the stirring the pot for 3 hours every night, and we were able to do that. It started last November with the first commercial run of it.
Well, I hate to tell you this, Jim, but you're going to be stirring the mustard pot right now because you are going to show me how this all began.
First, we use Hungarian wax peppers. Some people use sweet bananas or some other things. We use Hungarian wax. I actually like them better at this time of the year because they all start turning red and orange and yellow.
And you like the different
color.
colors,
It just makes it look a lot better than the plain old green ones that you get a whole lot. But you start with those, and we grind up all the peppers.
And do you grind them pretty fine?
It's about 1/4 to 1/2 inch grind. So yeah, it's not mush, but it's ground relatively coarsely.
Okay.
And so, you want me to show you how to do that?
Yeah, let's see. Look.
Go ahead. Just put it on this side. There you go.
Okay. Okay, so now we have all the peppers chopped, and then we'll be adding it to this mustard base?
Right, and what we did to make the mustard base is the rest of the ingredients, which are yellow mustard. Some people make the mustard from scratch if they'd like, but yellow mustard, vinegar, sugar, flour, and a little bit of salt. We mix that all up into what we call the slurry.
The slurry.
The slurry.
And this is the trade secret, how this...
Yeah, this is what we don't tell anybody how we make that.
Okay.
And we add the peppers directly to that.
Now for this batch, about how many jars would you get out of something this size? What would that yield?
That would probably give us about 10 to 12 jars, more or less. It cooks way down when you cook it, and we'll show you that in just a second.
So now that liquid mustard that we just saw prepared cooks down, and this is what the final result should look like.
Correct, and it probably cooks down at least 1/3, maybe even to half of what you saw earlier. And it cooks down to this thicker part, and as it cools, it'll even gel even further.
Okay.
It's good warm.
Wow. Whoa!
It's also a little warm
Ooh.
at this point.
It is warm, and it is warm. Let's go back a little bit and talk about when this first came to be. You had to come up with a label design, packaging, marketing. How did you deal with all those different elements?
Trial and error, first of all, but mainly we designed the label ourselves. Then I did some research to try to find a label printer for us, and we had that part taken care of. We had secured the facility to make our recipe for us. We had to go through the FDA labeling for the nutritional guide that's on there that show you what's included inside each one of the jars. And allergens was another one that we had to learn about to make sure to put on there. And then even as far as to getting a UPC code. There's a whole process to obtain a UPC code.
Well, I think your original one has quite a bit of kick.
It does.
But you were told at many events,
kick it up
a bigger, hotter notch.
Yes, that's right.
And so when did you develop the habanero recipe?
The product came out in July. We probably started in June, early June, with warming it up a bit. We did have a lot of people that really liked the original version, but asked for something hotter. They wanted their forehead to sweat a little bit when they ate it, and so we worked with our manufacturer, and came up with a couple of recipes and tried those, and came up with a habanero version that is the same mustard. It's made the exact same way. Literally, no secrets given out. We just added habanero to it.
Well, it is a Casey Malone exclusive. Nobody ever sees Aunt Karen. Everyone's always seeing Uncle Jim, but we've got the woman behind the man. Karen Shear, welcome.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us to your home.
Of course. We're happy to have you here. We're going to make grilled chicken salad, Uncle Jim's grilled chicken salad.
Okay.
So I've already grilled the chicken, just did salt and pepper, a little bit of oil, grilled it, and chopped it up into little tiny pieces so that it makes nice finger food on crackers. We're going to add to that little candied tomatoes.
Okay.
And some of the heirloom tomatoes that we both love. Add to that some green onion, which I've already cut up as well. So we're going to put those. You can pop yours right in there. I'm going to also give you, we're going to do half a cup of mayonnaise and a couple tablespoons, of course, of Uncle Jim's. We also have up here some deviled eggs, which all it is the egg yolk and Uncle Jim's mustard. That's it. And you need to taste those. They are fabulous.
Oh.
Aren't those good?
They're so savory.
I know. I thought about putting a little piece of pepper on top of each to make it a little bit fancy.
Fancier. That would be nice. I'm going to tell you a secret right now.
Okay, I'm listening. So is everyone else, but go ahead.
I really don't like deviled eggs.
Oh, really?
And I mean, I love this.
I'm sorry, Casey.
I said, well, I better be a sport. And I thought I'd tell you, this is delicious.
I'm glad that you like them.
If you bring the deviled eggs to a party that I'm at, I will eat them.
All right.
But this is not really bad. I love it.
I'm glad. Wait till you taste this.
Now, how is the distribution going?
Where
are we?
It is amazing. We are in about 23 of 50 states now. We have delivered as far away. What do you think? We have delivered as far away as the UK and Australia and Midway Island.
From the first time I tasted it, I loved it. And I'm just so thrilled that Uncle Jim's pepper mustard is out there and available. And you had better stop and get a jar. Go to our website, CaseyMaloneShow.com. All the links will be there. You'll find all the locations where you will find your jar of Uncle Jim's pepper mustard.